Hello and welcome to the Sage Goddess 2025 1111 ritual for abundance and prosperity. I'm recording this in my new ceremony room at Sage Goddess. There is a line across the screen. I hope it doesn't disrupt you. I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know, I could move to a different part of the room, but I thought it was kind of neat to work with that line of light because that's basically what we're doing with this ceremony. We're aligning to a day of power. November 11th is a day that only comes once a year. You know, so many of us look at the clock and when we see 1111, you know, we feel like our angels are around us, or maybe a soulmate energy is coming through, or someone's thinking of us. I think all of those things are true. But I think the most important thing to remember on a day like 11/11, especially if you can do this ritual, you can follow it anytime, but if you can watch it during the 11 a.m. hour or the 11 p.m. hour, which is why I pre-record it and put it on YouTube, so that way you can watch it at your convenience and in your time zone, because so many of our community members are in different parts of the world and we want to make sure that everybody can participate. We gave you a really cool set of tools for this ceremony, and I'm going to show them to you. If you have your own jar that you want to work with, we're basically doing a honey ceremony, and you can do this ceremony with honey or with agave. If you want to make it vegan, that's cool. They're both attractive substances, and that's what we're trying to do, is sort of work with the energy of attraction of this day. We're also working with the Sweet Summon candle and perfume. And this is a take on the original summon formula that I made when we were back in San Francisco, back like 12, 13 years ago was when I created Summon. And Summon at the time was primarily labdanum with a little bit of rose. I'm going to tell you the labdanum story. We did a limited edition take on it, including beeswax. So it's Sweet Summon. See the honey drop from her hand. So that's the original goddess that was on the art. So if you love rose, honey, beeswax, labdanum, those are all of the notes in Sweet Summon. And you can get the perfume and candle afterward at sagegoddess.com and use them anytime, right? You can do the ceremony anytime in the 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. hour. We just think of that 11 number as being the number of duality, union, and alignment. And so it's kind of a secret code with the universe, in my opinion. The other things you're going to want if you want to do the full ceremony. So we gave you the honey jar. We gave you a generator. It's some pink agate with quartz, because I'm really focusing on love in today's ceremony. We gave you a little strip of paper and a pen so you can write down what you're trying to attract. And then we gave you all of the herbs and oils of attraction. So we gave you orange slices, which some people in the herbal world call them the wheel of power, the wheel of abundance. I'll explain that when we work with it. Rose petals, which attract love, passion, and compassion to you. We're also working with bay leaf, which is big time for manifestation, right? We've been working with bay leaf for manifestation for a long time together. Marjoram, which is really interesting. This is a seduction herb. A lot of people don't know that. It's very healing, but it also has energies of seduction, temptation. And then we're working with Damiana, which is also an aphrodisiac. This is also for attracting new and very powerful love. We gave you a pouch of citrine stones. I've also got another piece of citrine from my jar here. This is the stone of wealth and abundance. And then peridot, which is the cornucopia stone. That's the stone that brings you everything that you seek. It's a very powerful attraction stone. And then rose quartz, because again, I think a lot of you are looking to manifest love. And I think 1111 has total soulmate energy to it, in my opinion. And so what I'm going to do today, usually I clear before we start by burning sage and burning herbs. But the energy of this ceremony just felt like it was calling for something slightly different in terms of my preparation. So I just want to tell you what I'm doing instead today. And I'm going to clear you. So basically, even if you don't have any tools, you can follow this ceremony with me and then make your own. If you have a little jar at home and some honey, piece of paper, any kind of herbs in your kitchen, maybe you have marjoram in your kitchen, maybe you have rose, dried rose petals in your apothecary. Those are all going to be perfect for you to work with. So for today, instead of sort of burning through the energy that we need to clear to prepare ourselves and our tools. I'm working with a rattle. This is a beautiful handmade rattle by a local artist, and I just love it. And so this is something that you can choose to do too. You can make a beautiful rattle like this if you have dried reeds or small branches from your collection. It just needs to have a little movement to it and some feathers. We also have lots of different rattles at sagegoddess.com, and again, these are probably things you have in your collection already. We need to talk about different ways to clear. It's coming to my awareness, right? Because sage is super great, but what if you're somewhere where you can't burn something? And so having a rattle is just nice, and it doesn't have to be a loud rattle, right? It's more about the intention and the movement of energy than it is about the sound. Although I like all kinds of rattles. This is our ceremony room, and there's a bin over here with just I don't know, 20 or 30 different rattles, so that when we do sound circles in here, we can have people moving energy with me. So I'm going to invite you to just roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time. I'm going to keep this ritual really simple and sweet because that's the intention behind it. And so I just want you to relax as I prepare our space. So since our intention here is to raise a vibration of attraction, I'm asking the spirit guides with me and on my behalf to clear any energy, any vibration from my space or yours, from my tools or yours, that is not in alignment with what you seek to call in, experience, connect with, manifest. And that can also be emotions like fear or doubt, hesitation. Just want you to let that go. This is one of my favorite ceremonies to do with you, even though it's not live, because I feel like it moves the needle for people. You know, it gets you focusing on what you need to focus on instead of focusing on everything that's making you crazy and anxious and sad. And, you know, it's like, let's focus on what you want to experience, grow, receive, and manifest. It all starts there. Everything starts in the mind. There's a Hermetic principle. If you've been with me for a long time, I've taught you this. So anyway, we're all clear. There's a Hermetic principle that says that the all is mind. All meaning everything in the universe is mind. And that suggests that everything we create and everything we manifest ever in our lifetimes begins as a thought, as a dream. And I think that's true, right? If you have children, at some point you thought about having a family, right? If you have a career, you planned for it, or you trained for it, or you went to school for it, right? And so everything begins as a thought and then moves into form. And the process of things taking form is only ever about, this is where it gets really simple for us, it's only ever about aligning with the vibration. You know, when we work with the magic of a certain day, when we call in certain energies, these are called correspondences, right? You can do attraction magic any day of the year, but why is 1111 special? Well, because the number 11, like I said, is a number of alignment. It's the 1 plus 1. It's saying to the universe, I acknowledge your magic, and I call it in and direct it toward the visions and dreams that I have set forth. And so I'm excited, and I hope you're excited too. So gather whatever supplies. Oh, I'm just realizing that I don't have my lighter. But that's cool because we can pause the video here and pick up when I get my lighter. I will be right back. Okay. So now let's light our candle. Again, if you have the Sweet Summon candle, obviously that's the one I want you to light. But you can work with any of your attraction candles. You may have an 1111 candle from a previous collection. You may have, even if you just have a very simple beeswax candle, remember how potent honey is. And that's why it's one of the focuses of this kit, right? Obviously making the jar. So a beeswax candle is fantastic for abundance magic. So I always want to encourage you, if you don't have the tools I'm working with, it's okay. Use the tools you have, especially if they have significance to you. And now I'm going to open our circle. And again, just really simple today, just a double terminated quartz wand. This was made by a beautiful friend of mine, and it's such a treasured gift. And so if you have a wand that you want to use, you can open your circle with quartz, and you can open your circle with selenite. So whichever one you prefer or you have handy is the one you should use. Okay, what's the most important thing when it comes to ceremony? What do we need to focus on first and foremost, even above and beyond tools, right? It's always the intention. I want you to ask yourself in this moment, what is your deepest desire when it comes to manifestation? You know, if there was a magic wand that I could wave or anyone could wave, you could wave and just produce it all, sit it right in front of you. It's an important question for you to consider right now. What would that look like? If it all got delivered to your doorstep, everything that you want in 15 minutes, would you even know? You know, and so sometimes, and I've been like this at certain points in my life, especially when I've been overwhelmed, it's like, I don't even know what I want, you know? But that is a tricky place to be from a magical perspective because the universe waits on us to, oh, that was cool. The universe waits on us, doesn't it? To declare what it is that we want to create, experience, or manifest. And so I'm going to be quiet for a minute. I'm going to encourage you to anoint with the perfume. Again, it's bringing in the vibrations. I always do a figure 8 on my arms to bless my actions. A little bit at my third eye, again, to bless my intention process. And then a little bit at my feet to bless my steps, bless my path. It smells so good. You're going to want to wear this every day. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to turbocharge it for attracting money, add patchouli to it. I always have patchouli on, and I will tell you, I can smell my patchouli from this morning, kind of alchemizing with the labdanum and the rose and the honey, and it's intoxicating. So I would encourage you to do that. Okay, now I'm going to be quiet, let you focus. And when you have what you want and it's crystallized, I want you to use this piece of paper that we gave you, and I want you to write it down. Now I'm going to turn mine into a couple of strips just because I find it's easier to get them in the jar. And I always blow my breath across everything because it just kind of seals my energy. Okay, what do you want? Write it down. And just a little secret here, okay? It's pretty profound. If you want to bless and address a place with abundance, like your home, write down the name, what you want for that house, and write it down. And also, if you are looking for a new home, I've done this with my friends for decades. Whenever they're like, okay, Athena, I found the house I really, really want. I'm working with a real estate agent. Oh my God, we put our offer in. Oh my God, will it get accepted? I'm always like, write that address down if you really want that house and put it in the honey jar. So, write down some addresses that need abundance. I'm on my fourth and last one, so take just a few minutes just to, again, crystallize your thoughts, be as specific as you can. If you don't feel ready to do it yet, you can do it later. But I think if you can do it on the 11th, it's really important. And use action words like I claim, I enjoy. Okay. You got them? So good. So now I want you to hold your generator, and if you want to, you don't have to, but if you have a double term quartz and you used it to open your circle, you might as well use it. So you can hold your generator and then take the double term quartz, which is basically a transmitter crystal, and I'm going to, with this wand, call down energies of wealth, abundance, love, everything that I'm calling in, right? Unconditional love, support, happiness, health, ease, wealth, right? All those things. And I direct those energies into this generator. Beautiful. And now I call in particular, I'm going to call in directional energies for this work tonight. Our circle is open, but I want to just acknowledge the ways that wealth and abundance and love, those energies flow from the directions in really particular and really beautiful ways. So I'm going to start with the direction of east. So I call in Eastern energies of abundance tonight. That is new beginnings, new cycles, anything new that you need. New experiences of wealth and abundance, new experiences of health and comfort in your body. And I call all of those energies in with gratitude. And then from the direction of the south, I call in abundance. So I call in passion, desire, sex and sexuality, all of those energies that we're looking for in terms of like what we're trying to manifest. I manifest courage and transformation with ease, right? Change that supports your highest, greatest good, and that you can navigate with ease and grace. And so it is. We're calling in those energies from the south. And then from the west is where it all lives, baby. So I am calling in financial abundance and flow. I'm calling in peace, and I'm calling in contentment. I'm calling in nurturing and support from all directions, but in particular from the west. This is Lakshmi energy all day long too in the west. So calling that in. And just sit with this energy. You can feel the container sort of tightening around us as we make our requests known. So I call in abundance from the north. I call in an abundance of protection, an abundance of grounding, an abundance of strength for us, physical strength. I call in peace in the north, stability, anything that you need that is related to the north. And so it is. And so now that we have taken those steps, I'm going to take my stir out of my jar. I'm going to place my generator inside. Okay. So now we're going to add all of the goodies with intention, just recognizing, the presence of them, the energy that they bring. And so I'm going to put my herbs and my stones in first and then cover with honey, because one of the things you'll notice is if you do it the other way, it gets very messy. So everything goes in first, and then we will seal it. We will put the honey in and seal the container. Okay. So I'm going to start with, where do I want to begin? I think I'm going to build my stone foundation. And I want you to think of this jar, because Robin and I did, as a grid, right? So as you're adding the chipstones to your jar, pull that down a little bit for you. Just be mindful of the directions. They don't have to sit in a particular direction. Everything's going to get mixed anyway. But I always start in the east. So new possibilities in love, passion and desire, a love that is comforting and nurturing, and a love that is strong and protective. I want all of those things, don't you? That's what love should be, baby. So that's our rose quartz. And then peridot Again, I'm calling in just, it's the cornucopia stone, so I'm calling in abundance of all forms. Abundance of health, abundance of wealth, abundance of love, abundance of time, abundance of peace. And then with citrine, we really double down on the focus on finances. So I call in wealth and abundance for myself, for my family, for my community. I call in wealth and abundance for my team, my friends and extended relationships. I call in ease, having more than enough, not just to live, but also to pursue our dreams and be happy. Okay, so now, Damiana, turning it up in a very sexy note, I call in passion, lust, desire, being in my body. I also, with Damiana, because it's super sacral, I call in creativity. And I want to show this to you. It's so pretty how the stones and the herbs are sort of stabilizing the generator. Isn't that pretty? In the jar. You could do this, you know, and not even add honey if you didn't want to, and then it would still be beautiful, and this could sit on your altar. It should sit on your altar anyway, but you don't even have to add the honey if you don't want to. It's just for me, it's a turbocharging thing. Marjoram, I call in energies of seduction, to seduce myself, to seduce my beloved. Seduce is just to enchant, right? And I believe in that. I believe in enchantment and seduction, especially of yourself. You should seduce yourself first. Bay leaf, this is just to ground and charge all of my manifestations, calling them in perfect time, in alignment with my highest good. Rose petals, this is all about passion. Again, love, compassion, faith, beauty. Roses are always connected to Venus. This is so pretty, you guys. Part of me doesn't want to add the honey because it's just so gorgeous. And then orange slices. The wheel, as it's known. Wheel of wealth, wheel of abundance. You want to try and find the most complete one you can, because it's sort of like a closed system or a closed circle. Orange is all about wealth, abundance. Wealth also supports manifestations for business. Look how pretty that is. Wouldn't that be an awesome gift to give someone for the holidays? Say, oh, I started this little wealth and abundance jar for you. It's so pretty, you guys. I'm going to stop in the middle of this ritual and take a picture of it, because after I fill it, I won't be able to, and I really want to be able to show you later how beautiful it was. Yay. Living this way ritually is, for me, it's what makes it all worthwhile, right? Doing magic and having the ability to do magic in community like I'm doing with you right now, I think is just the most important thing, the sweetest thing. Okay, and I told you I had an extra stone. You could also, by the way, if you wanted to, you could add some of the perfume, some of the oils that are in this blend, like labdanum and beeswax, are very powerful for attraction. So if you wanted to, you could pop off the roller ball and just add a little bit, a few drops. You don't need to, but you could if you wanted to. Okay, so now the most fun part, did I miss anybody? No. The most fun part to me anyway is the adding of the honey. And take a moment before you add it just to be present to it. In my tradition, it's very important to taste honey before you do ceremony with it. Just a little bit. It connects you to the energy of it. Okay. Now, as we pour the honey over, this is a really important part, okay? I need you to be completely focused on everything you just wrote, and don't let your mind get distracted until all of the honey is in. And you don't have to fill the jar to the tippy top, okay? Use what you have. But I don't want you to focus on anything other than your intentions while we fill. Bless this honey, Great Spirit. Please allow it to connect not only to my intentions for myself, but also to my intentions for my community, family, loved ones. I ask that this honey bind these magical, potent, beautiful ingredients together. I ask that the honey sweetens and expedites the blessings that I have asked for. And I ask that in turn, as I am blessed, everyone around me is blessed as well. Amen, aho, and so it is. And I'm just filling. Can you see? Let's see if there's an easier way to show this to you. See? We're just filling. Focus. Telling you, it's one of my favorite rituals of all time. I'm going to use my wand because the most important thing about a honey jar is just making sure that everything in the jar is under the surface of the honey. That's also the way you can ensure that nothing that you put in the jar will go rancid, because honey is a preservative. You probably realize that, but it's important for you to know. I'm also going to sink this, I'm going to bless this first, this double term citrine. And I intentionally did not put too much honey in my jar because I knew that was going to go in there and drop it, drop down and lift the surface. Just want to make sure I can, I'll be able to cover that safely. Just things you want to check before you finish. That's what you want to know for sure. Okay, it's looking beautiful still. See, that's all wrapped around that orange. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our intentions. And I like to fold it in from the left and then in from the right and just sink one down at a time. Again, pushing it all the way under the honey line. And I'm going to use my wand just to get it all the way down. Okay. Blessing these wishes. Thank you, universe, for blessings already on their way. Thank you for blessings that are sustainable. Thank you for blessings that bless me and others around me. Thank you. It is done. And we're just popping it in. Thank you. It is done. Amen, aho, and so it is. And again, I have long nails and I don't really want honey under my nails, so that's why I'm using my wand, but you can do you. And again, just everything under the honey line. It's very important, especially your wishes and your intentions. They need to be under the honey line. It's kind of like in shamanism when we talk about the fire line. Everything has to be contained within that field. This is a field, basically, that you've just created an energy field. Now, I'm not going to put my stir in because I just don't need it. I'm not going to actually be consuming this. You certainly can. You can do anything you want. It's your honey jar. But there you go. Isn't that beautiful? Some very potent magics were worked here today. And I'm proud of you. It takes courage to say what you want, and it takes courage to trust the universe that it's going to deliver those things on your behalf in a good way, So congratulations. If this is your first, you've just completed your first 1111 ritual. If it's I think this is our year 14 of 1111 rituals as Sage Goddess. So if you've been with me the whole time, we've been doing this for a minute. 2 more things. I want you to come back to center now. I want you to inhale that perfume at least 7 times. And the reason is, that was 4 for me. The reason is, at the 7th inhale, you create what we call a scent association. So now your brain will recognize that smell as connected to this work. And it'll be a way, as you wear that perfume, maybe as a daily scent, or certainly work with it in ritual, it'll be a way for you to come back and continue to, it's almost like recharging the energy of the ceremony, and it'll allow your energy to maintain its alignment with the frequency of what's in there. Does that make sense? So this is a way of extending the work, and it's very powerful. So, Great Spirit, you see us today on 11/11, this really powerful sacred day when we all come together to celebrate alignment and to set our intentions for what we want to experience, call in, manifest, grow, expand. Thank you so much for seeing us today, for bringing these blessings to us in perfect time. We trust the process now. We release the timing to you. We ask for the what. We let the universe decide the how and the when. May it all happen in perfect time and in full and divine alignment with your highest good and the highest good of all beings on this planet at this time. Aho. Amen. So it is. It is done. And thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. Please keep me posted. Let me know as things are unfolding. I'm releasing all the guides and guardians of the directions for being with us here today. I'm releasing them back to their winds. Thank you for coming and blessing the contents of our jar and anchoring our magic in their power, in their energy. So thank you for being with me today. So if you want anything that you saw today that we make at Sage Goddess, you're going to find those goodies at sagegoddess.com. If you love doing ceremonies with me, I do them every month in my online program called Living University, which is still open for registration. We'd love to have you. You can find out more information also about that at sagegoddess.com. All right, enjoy, you guys. Happy 11/11. May all your dreams come true. We'll see you soon.